What's up, everyone? It's your boy Flip back here with some more Star Wars content. But we're going to be doing this stream a little bit different today. Instead of just me kind of playing around and just talk a little bit about the issues with the game. Now, this is 100% my opinion. Your opinion may be different than mine, which that's okay, but you know, hey, don't shoot the messenger. Don't hate me for my opinion. Like I said, it's just my opinion, and this is what I think is some of the issues with the game. And not only issues with the game, just issues with, like, you know, different characters and stuff like that. And so, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to just kind of go through, like, each infantry classes and talk about whether I think they're balanced, whether they need a little bit of tweaking, or whether they just need a complete overhaul. And of course, I'm gonna be doing the same thing with, you know, going through each heroes. You know, the only thing I probably won't be covering is the starfighters, because I'm not too familiar with them. I don't play Starfighter Assault like that, or neither do I use the starfighters like that in the Enforcers and Aerials and all that other good stuff. And before I get into this, I hope y'all having a very, very happy Sunday. Alright, let's dive right into this. So now, first off, we're going to start off with the Assault class. I think, in my opinion, the Assault class is probably the most well-rounded class in Star Wars Battlefront 2. I think it's just, like I said, it's been well-rounded. I think it's been well-rounded since the beta. And I ain't really had no problems or complaints from the Assault. Most of the time when you go on Reddit, it's always, you know, talking about like the Officer and the Heavy, which we're going to get into that a little bit later on. Like I said, I can't think of really no problems with the Assault. The only thing that I am concerned about and that I don't like about the Assault class is the Vanguard. And of course, Vanguard can be cheesy, you know, because people, if you're a hero, people can just like select the Assault and they don't care whether they die or not. They can just run up to this, you know, run up and just blast you in your face for like 200 to 300 damage. I think it's maybe 400 damage if you shoot them in the face up close. I'm not too sure, but it's somewhere from 200 to 400 damage. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's stupid crazy. And, you know, that really sucks if, you know, you get hit by that thing one time and you're a hero and you've been saving up credits just to be that hero. So that's my only complaint about the Vanguard or the Assault class is the Vanguard. So that's really my only complaint. Moving on to the Heavy. I mean, oh, the Heavy's been through a lot of changes. You got, man, I don't even know where to start with the Heavy. So basically, you had, this gun right here. So you had this gun right here, and plus you added this exploding shot, and for some odd reason, like, you could just shoot it normal. Like, when you add this exploding shot, it's supposed to burn, like, that meter. Like, it's supposed to just go through it super quick, where you have to, I don't want to say reload, but, like, cool your weapon down. You know, so this supposed to overheat pretty fast, but it doesn't for some reason, like before they fix it now. But this gun was super annoying. It's even like been talked about, like this is like a really annoying gun because, for one, lightsaber heroes can't block the splash damage. They can block it, but they will still take that splash damage. And what sucks real bad about it is they can just sit up here and spray and spray and spray and spray for a long period of time. Now, yes, this has been fixed, but before, like, oh my gosh, like this was like super annoying. Like, it was honestly hard for me to be a hero during that time because all they would just, everybody would just be the heavy and just pick this gun with the exploding shot and whatever else, and they'll just melt a hero down. And like this, it's stupid. Like, it was stupid. Like, really annoying. But I mean, like I said, they got it fixed. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. It's not as effective as it was like before. It was like super broken. But yeah, what else? Oh yeah, the supercharged sentry. Man, the supercharged sentry, like I said, back then was, oh my god, it was so broken. Like, I remember running this thing, and I'm sitting here just spraying people with it. And I'm mowing down people for a long period of time. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this thing is super powerful. Almost too powerful. It's like super OP. And so, went through that little phase where this supercharged sentry was like the it factor. And of course, it didn't get fixed until, I want to say, a long time, because for some odd reason, EA, DICE, whoever you want to call out, they don't do a very good job with, bringing in these hot fixes real quick. And that's something I wish they would do a little bit more. But, I mean, I don't know what they're doing, but it is what it is. But, yeah, this was, like, a really broken thing, too. And, like I said, there's a ton of broken things, like, back then. Like, of course, recently, the ion torpedo, super broken. Like, you get, like, a large amount of battle points. And, I don't know, you can just get so many battle points, and plus it would, like, take out gunships and, like, the, whatever the droid tanks are called. They can take them out real easy. And so, that was broken too, but they got that fixed, so. I mean, Heavy's been through a lot of changes. Yeah, there ain't really much I can say like that hasn't already been said over at Reddit or just out into the general public. We all have a little hate in our hearts for the Heavy. I mean, which I can't complain, because the Heavy, even to this day, after it's been through all its nerfs and stuff, it is still a little cheesy. I'm not gonna lie, because the personal shield. You could just, it's pretty easy to cheese with a personal shield. All you just gotta do is run up in somebody's face and just pop that thing out and just take a squad and just mow down some enemies. And that's pretty much all you have to do. I mean, and like I said, the Heavy class is still cheesy, but the Heavy and what it's been through. Now this is something right here. The officer class. Now, we definitely have hate in our heart now, and probably forever, because of the officer class. And I'll tell you why. And it should be no surprise to all of y'all. The officer class is broken simply because they can get so many battle points. It's so broken. It's ridiculous. I don't even know the words to describe how broken the officer, when it comes to getting battle points, is. Like, you don't have to do nothing at all, and you can still get a ton of battle points. And yes, it sucks for other players. It sucks for, like, the other classes, because they don't have the kind of abilities that the officer does to get, like, that amount of battle points. It's ridiculous. And I'm sitting here complaining about it, and I do use the officer. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I feel so bad when I use the officer. I just feel so doggone dirty. But like I said before in my other streams, like, I like to be the hero. I like to be the first one to get the hero, and so I can go on these crazy kill streaks. That's what I like to do, and I'm gonna pick whoever gets me the hero first. Even though I hate to say it, but like, Officer, in my opinion, is right now the best, class in the game. Because if you want to get a hero, hey, go with Officer. If you want to pick a class that's, got some guns that can do, really good damage, Officer's good too. Plus the abilities are not bad at all, and especially probably one of the most broken abilities. And oh my gosh, I ain't ever seen a more broken ability than this right here, and I'm talking about it. It's right there, the flash grenade. Oh my gosh, OMG. I get a headache just thinking about a flash grenade. I would much rather get strafed down by a bunch of speeders on Hoth, or just anywhere in general, than to get flash grenade and be killed because of that flash grenade. This flash grenade has probably made so many people rage, and just it's unbelievable. This thing does everything, and I'm not lying when it says it does everything. Now some people may say, oh yeah, this does everything, but it technically doesn't. No, this does everything. And please comment if I'm missing something, but it blinds people, it stuns them, it restricts your movement. What else? You show up on the enemy radars, it's got them highlighted. And I want to say you can't jump. I'm not too sure. I feel like whenever whenever I get flash grenade, it feels like sometimes I can jump and sometimes I can't jump. But I'm gonna just say you can't jump because I've had problems with not jumping. But there's probably more to it that it probably does. But yeah, that flash grenade definitely it definitely does everything. It definitely has been the reason a lot of people has been killed. Oh yeah, and just something else that just popped to my head. It also damages players too. So, man, whole package. Honestly, in my honest opinion, this is a grenade that a modder would probably mod into the game just for kicks and giggles. They'll probably use it in arcade just to show how stupid, ridiculous, powerful this grenade is. That's honestly something that a modder would probably create. But yeah, this grenade's in the game, and it was developed by the people over there at DICE or EA. So I don't know why they haven't fixed it yet, but like I said, I don't know what they're doing. It is what it is. But I did hear that they was going to fix it. So hopefully they do fix it. It's gonna be tough though. It's gonna be tough because, man, like I said, that flash grenade is just, I hate that thing. It's probably one of my number one things I hate on this game. But yeah, I mean everything else is pretty much, the Officer's a powerful class. I'm not gonna say it's weak and by any means necessary. But the guns, of course, I know a lot of people still complain about the blurg, and they say oh yeah, it's still overpowered, people are still one-shotting me. And in my opinion, I think the blurg is alright. Yes, it should, in my opinion, it should be powerful up close, and medium range, you can still tell the damage kind of drops off, but you can still manage to kill people. I think the blurg is fine now. It's it's made for close range and medium range, and all the other guns I really don't know because I don't play with them like that. So I wouldn't know what to say about them except for the blurg. But yeah, let's move on to the specialist class. The specialist class is one of the weaker ones in the game. It really is. So let me just go through here. Really don't play the specialist class like that because I don't know what happened to the special class, especially after the beta. Like, the special class just hit a drop off. Like, it's ridiculous how much of a drop off it hit. Because during that beta, I mean, this thing was by far probably one of the best class and probably one of the most overpowered class. Because I think during the beta, what did they have during the beta? I'm trying to think what was the abilities for a special class. I can't remember the other two abilities, but I know the one that stood out the most, that was really powerful, was that infiltration ability. Now this, of course, it pulls out like some kind of E4 gun, where it's like a 4-round burst, I think. And, you know, it will just melt people. And not only will it just melt people, it hides you from the enemy radar. You also see see the enemy, like where they're at. It pinpoints them exactly. And like when you kill them, it just automatically refills your bar, or the little circle thing. And so you could just literally go on like a 10 kill streak with just this one ability. And so yeah, it was pretty overpowered, but yeah, it did see a lot of nerfs, and now we're back here, you know, like a year later. And it's definitely seen some buffs, but I don't think the buffs are good enough to declare, you know, this thing to be like anywhere remotely near the top. Like, you know, this is by far probably one of the worst classes in the game, because I mean, other than like the NT-242, I mean, I don't see what else is it good for, in my opinion. I know people have been kind of cheesing with like the personal shield, like they'll just kind of go up and just start whacking around. That's probably the only thing like I know of. But I mean, other than that, I mean, it's just weak. The shot grenade, it's weak. Infiltration has definitely seen a buff, but it's nowhere near what it was during the beta. But yeah, I mean, that's my take on the special class. I think it's one of the weakest ones in the game. Alright, we're going to move on to the Enforcer. Alright, so, you know, the Enforcer is consisted of the Super Battle Droid, you know, the Death Trooper, Flame Trooper, and the sugar daddy of them all, the Wookiee Warrior. Oh, man. Now, this today still makes a lot of people mad, is Wookiee Warriors. You know, well, what can I say? The Wookiee Warrior is the best Enforcer class out here. Nobody can touch the Wookiee Warrior. Like, it has a thermal imploder. Its bowcaster is just super powerful up close. Like, if a hero was to challenge me, I would just throw that overload ability on and melt heroes within like 3 or 4 shots. That's just how powerful it is. And of course, not only that, if you get all your like the health card maxed out, I think it gets 385 health. And then once you activate Fortify, his health goes up to 5 something. I can't remember exactly, but it goes up like 500 and something. But still though, 500 and something health, like, that's ridiculous. That's a hero's health. Like Boba Fett's, which is the hero that's got the least amount of health, which is at 550, and he's, you know, topped, or he's pretty much even in terms of health, like the Wookiee Warrior when he activates this Fortify ability. And of course, you know, everybody knows the Wookiee hate. I really don't need to explain the Wookiee, because I mean, everybody hates the Wookiee. At least that I know. I know there's some people that's like, oh, that would defend the Wookiee, but still, I think the Wookiee, it's powerful. I will go on and say that it's not overpowered like it used to be, because God almighty, like before, this was a hero. Like, you could get this cheaper than the heroes. Like, this is a mini hero. Honestly, the Wookiee Warrior is better than some of the heroes. And that's sad because I think that still carries some weight over to, you know, what I just said with still like this Wookiee warrior is better than some of the heroes, because I honestly still think even though after it received all the nerfs and stuff, it still is better than some of the heroes. Like I said, I don't think it's still overpowered, but I still think it's very powerful. You know, there's a difference between like overpowered and then powerful. But that's my take on the Wookiee warrior. Super battle droid, pretty decent. I like him overall. I think he's pretty good. I don't think he's too powerful. I don't think he's nowhere near the Wookiee warrior, but I don't think he's weak in any way. I think he's overall pretty good. So that's my take on him. Death Trooper, he's definitely one of the weaker ones out of the Enforcers, but like I said, if I had to rank them, definitely be Wookiee warrior, the battle droid, and then the Death Trooper. The gun that the Death Trooper uses is definitely weak, but if you know how to play with him and use his abilities, he's definitely, he can definitely go on some pretty good kill streaks. Sonic Imploder, really don't like it like that, but it has seen a buff before. I'm trying to think, when did it receive a buff? I'm not too sure when it received that buff, but the Sonic Imploder, it now can kill people now. I know before, whenever I use this thing, it would do absolutely nothing, at all. But now it does, and we're here right now where we are with the Enforcer, with the Death Trooper. So yeah, that's my take on him. And here's one of the weaker Enforcers, and that is the Flame Trooper. Now, the Flame Trooper has seen a buff because it was weak as water. I could probably be a specialist class and beat, the Flame Trooper. This thing is just not good at all. He's got a, flamethrower, which seems good on paper, but in actuality, it just sucks really bad. This thing couldn't even cook the burgers on my grill. That flamethrower doesn't do nothing. It's just that bad. And the Incendiary Imploder, it's alright. That's all I got to say about the Incendiary Imploder is But yeah, even though it still has seen a buff, Flame Trooper is still one of the weaker Enforcers, and I still think today it's still pretty weak. Now, I will say, though, it can be really good against heroes, like lightsaber heroes, because, you can't block the Flame Trooper's weapon. So, if you got a lightsaber character that's trying to attack you, and you just absolutely don't care about losing, the battle points you spend on this guy, then yeah, I guess he'll be pretty good against the heroes, because Now, the aerial classes. Now, I don't play too much of the aerial classes. I usually just play with the Enforcer. But, I'm just go over quickly. So, the B2 RP Rocket Droid. I think it's pretty good. I'm trying to think what it may need. Oh, I just realized it. Really good mobility. All the aerial troopers, of course. But the wrist rockets, I feel like they need to increase the blast radius damage. And the reason why I say that is because Battlefield 1, 2015. When you got the smart rocket and you kind of just shot it at someone, it was going to automatically kill them. It's automatic death. And the reason why is because I think the splash radius, or the damage radius, or whatever it's called, it's big enough to kill them. And I feel like that's the way the wrist rockets and the other rocket launchers should be with the Air Trooper. Because, I mean, other than the mobility and, you know, some of their guns, that's all the aerials got going good for them. I feel like that wrist rocket or the rocket launcher is their gateway ticket. It's like the ability to use. Now, they have definitely buffed this, but I don't think they buff it enough. In my opinion, I feel like you have to be super accurate and like you have to hit them dead in the chest or the head to actually get a kill. And I feel like they just need to do whatever they got to do, like boost the damage or the splash damage or whatever it's called, because I feel like it does need a buff there. The Jet Trooper, I mean, what can I say? You know, it's pretty fun. Like I said, just the rocket launcher and the wrist rocket and all that other stuff, just in general, you know, needs a buff. But the pistol that he uses is, you know, really good. I thought it was going to suck at first when I was using him during the beta, but he turns out to be really good, and he's like fun to play with. So, yeah, he's Jet Trooper overall. I like him. The Rocket Trooper for the First Order. So, there again, his pistol is pretty decent, and you know, I think he's alright. I don't think he's as good as the Jet Trooper, but he's still good. And final is the Rocket Trooper from the Empire, and I think this is probably one of the weaker ones in the aerial class, because I just don't like his weapon. I don't like his weapon at all. I think it sucks really bad. Like, that gun's awful. I've seen squirt guns do more damage than the Empire's Rocket Trooper's gun. And, I mean, yeah, there ain't nothing much more to say, but I don't know what they need to do to this particular Rocket Trooper for the Empire. I don't know. If I was to take a guess and say what they need to do with them, is to maybe increase the damage of it, but I don't know, because, like I said, I don't play aerial like that, but I do know that this particular aerial trooper is the weakest one. So yeah, that wraps up with the aerial troopers. Now it's time to move on to the vehicles. So, of course, we have got the AAT. AAT it's a tank. A tank's going to do, or a play like a tank's going to play. And it's supposed to be powerful. I mean, I'm not going to say it should be nerfed, but I'm not going to say it should be buffed either. I think it's a tank. Like I said, it's going to be powerful, so I can't really say nothing. The AT-RT is definitely pretty weak. I don't get the point of the repairability. I think the repairability is as useful as a busted condom. Yeah, so I don't think it's really that good. The ion charge, it could be good against like the AATs or other vehicles, but that's about it. But you're just exposed. Like, you know, you can easily get shot, you know, from anywhere. You have a 360 degree blind, like, well, not blind spot, but you can get shot 360 degrees because you have no protection. The ATST, this thing is really good. I mean, I like it. Just like the AAT, I think the ATST is pretty good. You know, it does have like a weak spot in the back, so that way it won't be like too powerful. But like I said, it's a vehicle. You know, it's like a tank kind of. So it's a tank's gonna do what a tank's gonna do, and that's just be a tank and just be powerful. So overall, I like it. Don't have no complaints with the ATST. And of course, the First Order ATST is the same thing, so I'm not gonna go over that. So it looks like that's it for the armor tanks. whatever you want to call them, walkers. That's my 2 cents on them. Speeders. What? Speeders. Like I said, I don't play too much airships, so I played with this maybe a few times, and I guess it's all right. I mean, I don't think it's nothing too special with that. Like I said, I don't play airships like that, so I would have no clue about the airspeeder on Hoth. Moving on to the LIUV. Now this thing is Cheese City. This is another cheesy thing that just it upsets people, and it's because all you have to do is just run over people. That's all you got to do. If you want to get easy, cheap kills, just run them over. That's the easiest way. If you want to take out a hero real quickly, just run them over. It's going to kill them real easy. Man. I want to go as far as to say that these things shouldn't damage players. Like, you can still shoot them and whatnot, but in my opinion, I feel like that you shouldn't be able to run over someone and get a kill that way, because that's just so cheap and that takes no skill. Now, if you kill someone with it, like using like the actual guns, that's one thing. But it's just simply run over people. That's no skill at all. That's what I think should happen, but it ain't never going to happen, because I don't think EA or DICE is going to fix that. Just because I think they'll have to change like a whole bunch of things, and I don't know. I'm not no expert on video game coding. But yeah, that's what I think should happen, in my opinion. Like, the speeders are, really cheesy, They're just cheesy. I think people have gotten more kills by running over people than like they have actually running over someone. So yeah, that's pretty much like my idea of the speeders, all of them really, except for this one. Now, I haven't seen a lot of people use this to run over people. I just see them use this to actually just shoot the AT, or whatever the first order's AT is called. But yeah, I just usually see them to speeders. Artillery, the AT, of course, I like it. It's a pretty good one. Like I said, I pretty much like all the artillery ones. I think they're fine. I know a lot of people have been complaining about the LAAT gunship. I know a lot of people have been complaining about this, and I think it has seen a nerf. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it has seen a nerf. But should the battle points increase for this gunship? Because I know that's what a lot of people have been saying, because they're like, man, it's just cheap kills, needs to increase the battle points. And I can definitely see where they're coming from, those people who say that, because you can definitely kill a lot of people, especially if you get them grouped up. But I think it's fine just the way it is. I honestly think it's fine just the way it is. Just leave it alone, because the perfect counter to it is the tank, the separatist tank, whatever it's called, the AAT. That's what it's called. All you gotta do is just have one of them bad boys to shoot it down, and you're fine. And not only that, you have like other infantry soldiers that can take it down too, like the specialist class with the NT-24, whatever it's called. You have that. You got the heavy that can use this sentry to take it down. So there's a lot of things that can take it down. So I would definitely just leave this alone. Just keep it the way it is, like the battle points. Don't touch it. Leave it like it is. And just the same thing with like the other artillery stuff. It's just keep it like it is. You don't need to touch that. Alright, and so we are going to be moving on to the heroes. So, first one we're going to be talking about is the bounty hunter himself, Boba Fett. Now, Boba Fett is definitely one of the weaker heroes in the game with the lowest health in the game. And not only that, his jetpack just stops working randomly. And it gets shot down or shut down so easily if someone shoots it with like an explosive shot or something like that. Like, yeah, pretty much if anybody shoots you with like an explosive shot or even the bowcaster, like he just starts flying out of the air. And so that should never happen. Like, it should never happen. If you want to get, like, let him get shot in the air, let him get shot in the air, but don't let him fall out of the air. Like, Boba Fett, the good thing, I'm not going to say the only thing, but the good thing about Boba Fett is his jetpack. That's his key. That's his treasure. That's his way of just getting around. That's his thing, is to just, his jetpack. So, when you take Boba Fett's jetpack away, he's not good. Now, yes, he's got his rockets, but they nerfed the mess out of his rockets since, like, the beta and, like, just threw on out. Ever since they nerfed Boba Fett's rockets, he has never been the same hero. Now, yes, you can still get kills with the rockets against infantry soldiers, but it takes about a good 3 rockets maybe to kill him, maybe 4 to kill an infantry soldier. You might as well forget about using the rockets against heroes because it's not going to really do anything against them. Yes, it will damage them, but it doesn't have that same impact that it does or that it had before. So my thing with Boba Fett is, please fix his jetpack. Fix his jetpack because it's completely broken. I almost want to say increase the damage to his rocket barrage just a tiny bit. And that's it. Fix his jetpack. I don't even care if the rocket barrage gets nerfed. I don't care what they do with that. Please fix his jetpack. That's been broken for a long time. And as a fan of the game, it's kind of concerning that they haven't already fixed this yet. So that's my thing, what should be fixed with Boba Fett. Moving on to Bosk. Now, Bosk is fine. He's perfectly fine. Do not touch him. Don't nerf him. Don't buff him. He's perfectly fine. Yeah, he's really good. I can't say nothing. He's perfectly overall fine. There's nothing to really say about him. He's just overall fine. Now, I know a lot of people complain over on Reddit saying, "Oh, well, he's just so powerful, and he's way too overpowered because he's got all these grenades and Deoxys grenade, and he can clear out a room really easy." And to my response to people who think like that is, that's what Bosk is. He is supposed to clear out rooms. He is an objective player. Like, I'm trying to think. If you need to plant a bomb, all Bosk got to do is throw down a gas grenade, throw down some mines, and then he's got his little grenade launcher thing. That's what he's supposed to do. He's an objective player. He can protect it. He can go plant the bomb. He's just an objective player. And yes, he's made to clear out hallways. That's his specialty. So he's perfectly fine. Don't touch him. Chewie. Oh, man. Everybody wants a nerf from Chewie. And I'm pretty sure they're going to nerf Chewie and his, like, how long people can get stunned by a stun grenade, because let's be real, in Galactic Assault, Chewie sucks, except for killing heroes. In HVV, he is just a god, but in Galactic Assault, he is trash. Which I don't play much HVV, but the times that I have, he is by far the best character in there. And why? Simply because he's got a stun grenade and plus his furious bowcaster, which just melts you super quickly. Yeah, so Chewie, he needs a nerf on his shot grenade. The amount of time you get stunned needs to be drastically decreased. And his Furious Bowcaster, I almost want to say decrease the damage of that, because that's pretty annoying too. Oh yeah, his Health Star card. His Health Star card is terrible. You got to kill people with your Charge Slam in order to get your health back. And Chewie can't one-shot people with his Charge Slam. If you're gonna make a health card, and say, okay, you know what? If you get kills with this, then you get your health back. But it's gonna be kind of hard if you don't make that ability like super powerful. Like, for example, I think one of Finn's abilities is if he uses his undercover ability where he pulls out his pistol. If he gets kills, he gets his health back. Now, I feel like, I'll get to Finn later on and talk about his health card a little bit later on. But I feel like, certain abilities like that should be powerful. Like, that pistol should like just do a good amount of damage where it just takes them on out. And same thing with Charge Slam. It just needs to be nerfed where it like one-shots like people. Where it like one-shots infantry. And so that way he can get his health back. I think, in my honest opinion, it should do up to, what's a reasonable number? I'm going to say it should do 200 to 250. 200, 250, yeah, I think you're fine. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just his shot grenade needs to be nerfed. I think his Furious Bowcaster needs to be nerfed a little bit. And just his Health Star card, like, fix his Charge Slam where it actually does, like, like 200, 250. I feel like if you do that, Chewie would be a pretty good player in Galactic Assault, but, yeah, right now, he's terrible. Darth Vader. Excuse me. He's definitely seen a nerf in health, because I know, first coming out, he was a tank. Like, he had the same amount of health as like one of the MTTs did. So like that's pretty crazy. Like, I think once you max out his health card all the way before, he could go up to 1,000 health, which that's crazy. that's super crazy. But the one thing that needs to be fixed by Vader that hasn't already been fixed and has been talked about multiple times is his choke. His choke is broken because there's been times where you choke somebody and he just stays in that choke animation and he can't get out. And there's been times where the choke hasn't even worked. And there's been times where you do choke somebody and then, I guess they just start flying across the map. Like, I'll give an example. I was, chokehold. And then, like, my screen just started shaking all violently, and then, like, I started moving across the map super fast, and it's like, oh, like, what in the world? So, the choke needs to be fixed. That's an ability that needs to be fixed, because it's been talked about for a while, just like Boba Fett's jetpack, but nothing hasn't been done yet. All his other abilities are fine. I think he's a good tanky hero. Like I said, I like Vader. I think he's good. It's just his choke needs to be fixed. Palpatine. Ooh, now Palpatine is a guy that has been nerfed after nerf after nerf. He's been nerfed a lot. And even though after all of those nerfs, he's still powerful. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know some people will be like, well, it's kind of a little bit harder to get those kill streaks since he's nerfed. Yeah, you're right, but I can still bust out an easy 40-some kill streak with him, just like that. And I managed to actually get like a 45, kill streak during the hero event. And I've always talked about that it's hard to get a kill streak going in the hero event because of like all the heroes and stuff. Well, not for Palpatine. It's pretty easy for him because just his mobility is really good. His health card is like the main focus, is because I think what's his health card state? Yeah, so every target struck by chain lightning will heal Palpatine for a small amount of health. So I know this has been nerfed drastically, because I know whenever somebody got hit by his chain lightning, like, he would recover an insane amount of health. But even though still then, if you hit this with like some people, you can still gain a good amount of your health back. So that card's still good, and even like I said, he's definitely not broken to the point like where they had to take him out the game, because that was pretty bad. He was so broken that they just said, you know what, let's just take him out the game. That's sad. It really is. But excuse me. But it is what it is. He's back, and he's still really powerful. I definitely rank him like in my top 5 of most powerful, heroes or villains within the game. But yeah, can't really say nothing. I think do I think Palpatine needs a nerf or a buff? No. Leave him like he is. Just leave him like he is. Don't touch him. EA or DICE, do not do anything with Palpatine. He is fine just like he is, because I'm afraid if they change him even a little bit, I feel like there's something going to be gone wrong. Next thing you know, he's back to shooting people through walls with his lightning. So just leave him alone. He's fine. Just leave him alone. So Han Solo. Now, I don't really play with Han a lot, except for on certain maps, like tight corners, like Camino, Naboo. During them tight corners and those certain phases, I love to use Han Solo just because of his detonite charge. I think that Han's definitely gotten better in terms of like playability, and just I don't know. I think overall he's just gotten better overall ever since they added that star card in the game. Because what was one of the issues with Han before? I'm trying to think. What was one of the issues? I think one of the issues was he just couldn't take no damage. I think the reason why I'm trying to think. Well, I'm trying to find the words. I don't know. I had a brain fart. I can't think of it. But anyway, I think one of the reasons what made him a weaker character was because he couldn't really take damage like that. But I think after some buffs to him, he can definitely take some damage. Like I said, the health card just makes him a pretty good character. I know some people who main Han and are just doing phenomenal with like this new health card. Like, they were doing good with them before the health card. Now I'm looking at them now, just watching. I'm like, man, they're killing it out there, all because of that health card. And it's amazing what a health card can do to a character. And so overall, I think Han's fine. Iden Versio. Now this is her. She has definitely seen seen brighter days. If you can say that. Man, because she's not a good character at all. Before. She was awful before. Like her pulse cannon. Her pulse cannon is useless. I've never used her pulse cannon. I've watched all these other big YouTubers that play Star Wars Battlefront 2. They don't ever use her pulse cannon because it's useless. Now, the big thing with her is her stun droid. That's the big finale with her abilities is her stun droid. And of course, she's got a health star card now, which whenever she stuns people, let me read this. Whenever item Versio stuns an enemy trooper with stun joy, she regains 30 health, and whenever she stuns an enemy hero, she gains even more. So she don't suck anymore because, you know, for one, that health star card. 2, her stun droid. 3, her personal shield actually works now, because before, like, her personal shield would just not work at all. Like, whenever you just threw that thing on, for some reason, you know, the bullets were still coming through, like the shield. But they fixed that. Her pulse cannon, I have no clue whether they fixed that or not, because I never used it. I think it sucks, and I don't think no amount of buffing to her pulse cannon will make it any better. I think that ability absolutely sucks. But her stun droid and her personal shield, those are her best abilities, especially her stun droid. She's got her secondary fire, which has always been good. So yeah, I mean, she definitely doesn't suck now that she's, you know, got some tweaks to her. So good for you, Ida. Good for you. Moving on to Kylo Ren. Now, Kylo, I always wanted to like playing with Kylo. I wanted to play with Kylo, but it was hard to play with him because there were a lot of things wrong with him. Like, I'm trying to think, like, what was his charge ability? Let's see. The frenzy ability. Like, for some reason, like, the frenzy ability wasn't working. I don't know why, but something was bugged with that ability, and it was just, it was tough to use. And not only that, I'm trying to think, what else was wrong with him? Oh yeah, he didn't have a Health Star card. So, you know, I always like Kylo. I think his abilities are unique. I think they're pretty good. But he didn't have a Health Star card. Now, why he didn't have a Health Star card? In the beginning of the game, well, why, you know, all the heroes didn't have a Health Star card in the game beats me. But ever since they threw that Health Star card on him and actually tweaked his frenzy, and I feel like his lightsaber combat is definitely a lot smoother. Now, the lightsaber combat in the game ain't the smoothest, but with Kylo, they definitely make him a lot smoother. And I like him. I'm having a lot of fun with him using now, especially, you know, like with all the tweaks and his, you know, his frenzy actually working like it's supposed to. I think he's a really good character if you know how to use him. Like, just really good character. Lando Calrissian. Lando's good. I'm actually starting to have like a lot of fun with Lando. Now, yes, I don't like the stun locks or nothing like that. You know, it is what it is. But the smoke grenade is definitely one of his more useless abilities. But the sharp shot and disabler, those are two main ones. I definitely love his sharp shot. Actually, today I actually set like a new high record with him, which is like 32 with him. And so I know that ain't a world record, but I mean, hey, at least I did pretty good with him. But yeah, I mean, I like his pistol is pretty decent. His sharp shot, like I said, his sharp shot is like pretty much where I get a majority of my kills. And his disabler, you know, whenever I'm going up against a hero, I just throw that bad boy down and use it. And yes, I know it's cheese, and I know people hate the stun locks on here. I hate the stun locks on here, but it is what it is, I guess. But like I said, overall, Lando's good. He's pretty good. I'm starting to enjoy him now, and like I said, in the future and like now, I'm going to try to main him so I can get like really good at him. So yeah. Leia is, she's definitely one of the weaker ones because her flash grenade it doesn't do nothing. Her rapid fire, I think it sucks in my opinion. The personal shield is pretty good. The only thing I think going for is her secondary fire. I think that's the only thing going for her, and will probably ever be going for is her secondary fire. I just don't know what else to say about her. I I know secondary fire got a nerf because it was getting like too powerful, but if you would have told me that there was a nerf on her secondary fire, I would have never known, because in my opinion, whenever I use it, I still can't tell the difference. I'm still like on crate, like I'm still just knocking people's heads off with this secondary fire, and so yeah, if it was nerfed, I can't tell the difference. But like I said, her secondary fire is the only thing going good for Luke. Now, I don't know why, but for some odd reason, his first hit doesn't register. Like, you can sit here and swing like one time, or I don't know what it is, but that first hit just doesn't register for some odd reason. And not only that, his force push and his repulse, it don't even work half the time. And those abilities have been broken for a good minute now, and I don't know why it hasn't been fixed. So, hey, EA, DICE, like, please fix Luke's abilities. And not only that, fix them to where I can hit the man, because that first initial hit, it makes a big difference. And with Luke not being able to hit nobody the first time, it's hard to use them. It really is. So yeah, those two abilities need to be fixed with them. Plus his hit registration needs to be fixed too. Maul, I'm not even going to really talk about him like that, because I think he's overall really good. I think he's been just a great character since the beta. And now, since they thrown in this star card, I'm not even going to lie, I would argue to say that he is probably the best character in the game now, since he threw in that star card. He's fast, his dash ability is just amazing. The only issue I have with him is his Furious Throw. His Furious Throw don't hit nobody. Like, some people say it's 50-50, some people say it don't hit for them all. For me, it doesn't hit for me. So that's the only thing that they need to work on, is his Furious Throw. Rey, she's been through some nerfs too. I think she's a good character. I'm trying to think. What was I about to say? Lost my train of thought. Yeah, she's definitely been through some nerfs, but I don't think she needs a nerf or a buff. I think she's fine the way she is. Yes, she still is powerful, and I know her mind trick ability still is annoying, but I mean, that's just her playstyle. That's just the way she does. She's an annoying character to deal with, and you know, she's definitely one of the top 3 best heroes in the game. So, just leave her like she is. I think she's perfectly fine the way she is. Yoda, I think he's fine. Now, the only problem I have with him is his Unleashed ability. I feel like it works for me 75, maybe 80% of the time, but I feel like there's still times where people are inside that Unleashed area, the area of effect of the Unleashed attack, and it doesn't hit them. And so, other than that, I feel like he's fine. I know a lot of people say something about his present ability needs to be nerfed. There's more bigger problems out there, more characters to fix than actually like his presence. Like I said, with Vader's choke and Luke's abilities, they need to focus on that before they focus on like Yoda's presence. So, last 3, Finn. Finn, I think I want to say Finn needs a buff, but you know what? No, I take that back. Finn don't need a buff. I'm glad that they have nerfed his aimbot, because it's stupid. I don't even know why he has an aimbot in the game, because it's an aimbot. That's what hackers use. Hackers use aimbots, and that's one of his abilities. So, don't know why he's got that. I think it's stupid. Undercover team. Now, this is his health card. he's got to kill someone with his little undercover ability. And while this is definitely more effective than Chewie's charge slam, I still feel like they need to boost the damage of his pistol when using this ability, because I feel like his pistol is like a squirt gun. You know, I know I've used that a couple of times before, but yeah, I just feel like it's a squirt gun that's just not effective. I feel like they just need to increase the damage of that, and if they do that, I'll be fine with his with his health star card. Phasma. Phasma is an character. She ain't all that. I don't really like her like that. Don't know why her health card consists of getting kills with her staff strike, because her staff strike ability is useless. It's awful. It's terrible. It's slow. I just don't use it because it's just terrible. And I feel like they just need to make a different star card for her. I feel like they need to make a star card where, like, just make it to where she gets kills. Like, you know, if she defeats an enemy trooper, give her 20 health. And if she defeats a hero, give her even more health. Like, don't let it be on the staff strike, because that's one of her worst abilities, and it don't even work. I mean, if it does work, it's terrible. So yeah, I wouldn't even go as far as to say, like, oh yeah, if you just do this and that to the staff strike, it'll be fine. No, just switch the health card over to her killing people with like her gun, and that'll be it. Last but not least, the newest addition to Star Wars, General Grievous. Now, Grievous is one of the most high damaging characters on here. If you get one of his star cards maxed out, if you hit somebody from behind, that's 360 damage. That's insane, and I think that's good. Considering, you know, like 2 of his abilities are broken, which is Unrelenting Advance and the Thrust Surge. Unrelenting Advance, it don't even block nothing that's in the front of them, and the ability clearly states, and let me see if I can't pull this up. Yes, the Unrelenting Advance. Grievous ignites 4 lightsabers, deflecting attacks and inflicting damage on anyone foolish enough to challenge him. So basically, it's supposed to block every single frontal, like, blaster fire. It's supposed to block everything that's in front of them. And it don't even work. You don't even block nothing. You can sit here and be shot at and nothing's deflected back. And Thrust Surge is useless because every time you try to lock on somebody and try to, like, stab them, the hit don't even register. So both those abilities are broken. They suck. And what I think that needs to happen is they need to make the ability work for Unrelenting Advance and increase the damage. Because, let's be real, this ability seems like it's made to clear out hallways. But, and I don't know if that is the true purpose of it, or the purpose could be to just block attacks. Maybe that's it. But in my opinion, I would increase the damage on this I would definitely increase the damage on it, because I think now it's it's either 80 or 90 damage is what it does, like, whenever it hits someone. That's terrible. I think it needs to be increased up to either like 250, or not 250, sorry, like 200. I think it needs to be increased up to 200. Call it a day. Let it deflect all the blast fire and mess back at them, and it'll be fine. Now, a lot of people have been complaining about saying, he deals out a little bit too much damage, and I feel like when he does get fixed, he's going to be OP. I don't know. We'll see when we cross that bridge, is what I got to say. But, yeah, guys, this is pretty much it. Like, this is all I'm going to talk about. That's all the issues I've had with the game. if I miss anything, from like the classes or heroes or any of the enforcers and all that other stuff that I cover, if I didn't cover something, just let me know in the comments. And just like I said, as always, thank you for your support. Thank you for everything you've done for me. I love all y'all. Just comment down below what I need to, what I didn't go over. And yeah, man, just show some love to you, boy. Peace out.